What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica, from the Classic Climb blog. We're going over the luxury belief of rugged individualism, credit over sale, and identity. I know, that was a long title, and I'm sorry, but I had to hit a few talking points here today. There is a case right now where the man is potentially going to jail for 32 years. What happened? Him and another man worked at a hot dog stand in Phoenix, Arizona. In like 1988, something to that effect, or late 1992. And he stole the man's identity. Now, not only did he go off and steal the man's identity, he went to school. He married a woman. He had a child. He went and got an IT career where he was getting paid $170,000 a year for about 7 years. And when the man, who somehow sounds very transient, came along trying to use his own credit, his own name, he got arrested. And the man who stole his identity, Mr. William, stole his identity, put him in jail, got him put in jail. Now, he was in jail, technically because of the judge, waiting in the county jail for 2 years because he would never reclaim, hey, this isn't me. You know, I stole an identity. He would never agree to the charges. He would never agree to the information. And they basically gave him 2 years time serve, essentially. Told him, don't do it again. And what'd he do? He left jail and said, man, this is me. This is my identity, man. And what's the most unfortunate part of this story is, one, there's so many gaps. Where has this man been for these past 30 years? This guy's been using his identity. And part of the reason he even found out somebody using his identity is because the man was making so much money, his tax bill. You know, when he started paying taxes, he had to pay higher income taxes. Part of why I'm bringing this story up, and it's really unfortunate, because once they figured out, you know, I mean, basically this guy had to go 48 hours detective mode, go find the other guy he worked with from the hot dog stand's adoptive parents that he ran away from home at 16 from, and committed a series of small petty crimes, which is why he didn't want to use his identity. He had to find them and bring them to court and say, this is their son. His name is not William. This is our son who we adopted. Now, part of why I'm bringing this conversation up in the series of luxury beliefs is my first problem with this whole thing is, where has the original man been? What has he been doing with his life that this hasn't been a problem before these last 3 years? On top of that, while I'm sitting in county jail for 2 years, I'm going to make phone calls. I'm going to call all my family. I'm going to write my public defendant, my attorney they assigned to me. I'm going to write the name of every cousin. I'm going to write the name of the high school I attended, the elementary school I attended. I'm going to write every job I've ever had down. I'm going to write every girl that used to be my girlfriend down. I'm going to go find my parents, my cousins, my siblings, my extended cousins. I'm going to have at least 100 people that's like, oh no, that's Erica Williams, not this other lady stealing her identity. But the problem in our society is we're tied to this rugged individuality that, you know, I can just do it all on my own. I'm going to be a lone wolf and nobody can tell me what to do. And guess what happened in this process? There was no one there to back his claim. This man had to go become an investigative detective almost and go find the other man's parents. It's like a lifetime movie in writing. And I really hope this guy writes a book. I really hope he gets some kind of movie credits. I hope, you know, Tubi just doesn't steal the ideal and go make the movie. But the problem with all this is, comes from this isolation theory. This comes from hanging under the radar. This comes from, I'm not going to marry and have kids and have community in my life. He didn't go to a church. He didn't stay in touch with his own family. There's no one in the world that can vouch for this man. He had to sit in jail for 2 years. There wasn't enough people. They had to force these two men to do DNA tests to get down to the root of this. Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. I would have had a list of 100 people in that courtroom, or on paper, or on video. I would have found old photos of myself. See, this is what happens when we live in these isolated bubbles. And there's no one to vouch for us. There's no one on our team. It's a dangerous way to live. It's very dangerous. And I get it. And why am I bringing up this identity as the opening conversation in all this? Because that's the problem with a lot of you right now. You have an identity that you're tied to that is no longer you, and it doesn't serve you. Many people, when I talk about credit over sales, we see all these people saying, hey, would you rather have an 800 credit score or $100,000 in cash? And people literally say, 800 credit score, I could do anything. It immediately tells me that no one has taken the time to teach them sales. No one has taken them the time to teach them the power of assets. I can tell you right now, there's no one running around giving $100,000 unsecured lines of credit. And there's several people who I know who have been in business since the pandemic, before the pandemic, myself included, where banks are like, I don't know if giving you a loan. I went to my banker and I said, what would you do if you're in my case? He goes, you got $25K in some stocks? I go, yeah. He's like, we'll give you a loan right now, 100%. If someone doesn't tell you the game, you will play the game under the wrong rules. You'll say, Erica, I've tried to clean up my identity. I got a secured line of credit cards. I got 3 accounts doing this. I've been working here doing this. I've paid down my debts. I did all these things and they won't give me new credit. And in my head, I'm thinking, you've been working on your credit for 2 years. Listen, you got the funding bundle. You're making progress. Great. I love it. Awesome. But for let's say for the sake of argument, for 2 years, you've been trying to work on your credit and it's not changing. It's not budging. I don't know what's on there. You haven't booked to call me. I can't help you till you let me know. I'm going to tell you, let's start focusing on sales. Let's start focusing on getting our income up. I literally got off the phone a couple of days ago with people who were doing, medical curry at night, and a teacher, and they're making over 6 figures, 100 and buku money. Let's just say it that way. Because they got past the part of like credit. At some point you have to be, how do we get more income in? And I can take that income, and I'm just going to say, for just the sake of the story, put over 20,000 over into a REITs, dividend stocks, keep it simple. And my bank recognizes those as real assets. Not my house, not my car. I'll give you some money for it, title loan here and there. But real 100% collateral back you loan. You got stocks? I'll do it. Now, what's the problem with the scenario I just talked to you about? 80% of Americans are not directly, let me put it this way, directly involved in the stock market. Their work may have a 401k. They may have a Robinhood account somewhere they put $200 in. They never did anything with it. But 80% of our society is not effectively directly into the stock market. They should be. It carries a lot of weight. A lot of their pensions are tied to it. Firemen, teachers, a lot of pensions are tied to the stock market to get returns. And family offices, here's your pensions. But if I told you that, you go, well, Eric, I don't have just 20K laying around. Now, what if I said, hey man, just drop $1,000 a month in? Or let's get your income up so that extra money you make a month, we drop it into stocks so we can turn around and get a loan off of that. The problem is many people's identity think it should be easy. It should be free. I should be able to just have 3 lines of credit and they should be just pouring $100,000 in the window to me. And I will tell you like this, the average American is making $30K and at most $100K a year. These credit card limits you're going to get are anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000. Just your personal. Because most people don't have a lot of income. No matter these stories you hear online, a lot of people tap out at the 100,000 mark because they're based off their income levels. Now, you'll say, well, Eric, I need more than 100,000. I need 200,000, 300,000. And here's a rule of thumb this guy used to say. It's not that people want to be a millionaire. They want to spend $1 million. Let me say that again. It's not that people want to be a millionaire. They want to spend $1 million. They have all these trips and ideals and clothes and purses and handbags and things they want to do with the money. They never thought about the elevation of the lifestyle at all. So this is where we go into business credit conversations you hear online. Well, Erica, of course, I want to be a business owner. I want to have business credit. Why? Because the leverage is a little bit bigger. You're talking about $50,000 to $500,000. Some people hit the million. It'll take a very proactive year push to get that million from 2 or 3 of the people we know that specialize in credit. But why do you want that credit, right? Because this is the question. I go, well, what business are you trying to run? What are you trying to buy? Are you trying to invest in homes? Are you trying to invest in a reoccurring business? Are you trying to invest in a white label company? You just need ad spend money. What are you trying to buy? What are you trying to invest in? They never really have that part of the journey written down. They just want the access to this imaginary big line of credit, and it'll allow them to do something. I want to be very clear to you. Whatever you're already doing, you get a bunch of credit on top of it. Guess what? It's like putting fire on a dumpster fire. It's like putting gasoline on a dumpster fire. You get a bunch of credit right now and you have no plan, you have no calendar that we talk about on this channel, you have no reoccurring system your staff comes in and does, no phone calls, you will burn through that money. I've been on too many phone calls with people who burnt through $100,000 PPP money, EIDL money, loan money, and credit card. Erica, can I get more credit cards? You already had 100,000. Well, I need some more. Well, what are you going to do with that? Well, I have this ideal and I want to tell them so bad. That was your ideal money. That was your money. Now, why am I talking so much about sales and about building up your sales over your credit? Something I've been saying a lot on this channel, if you guys have noticed, for the past 6 months. And that's because I've been to several conferences. And prime example, I just went to one called Blue Collar Ballers with Apex. And I was in there and this young man got on stage and I said, man, babe, he looks like he's a former drug user. And my boo was like, whoa, why'd you say that like that? I said, he just does. Look at his eyes. Look at his face right here in this part. He was like, what are you talking about, babe? And of course, the guy gets on stage. You know what he says? I was a former drug user. 6 years ago, I was homeless. I cleaned myself up from rehab and I got into sales. I got into roofing sales because that's where anybody would trust me, is outside knocking doors. And now I'm a multimillionaire. A company that makes $5 million a year roofing. You're going to say, Erica, that's a one-off. No, we're sitting there. Next guy comes up to speak. I said, this guy right here, I think he was a boxer, baby. My significant other looks over at me and goes, what makes you think that? I said, look at his cheeks. Look at his jaws. Look, he's been in fights. He's got to be a boxer. He gets up. He starts speaking. Guess what? Tall, white guy. Muscular. I was in prison for 10 years. I look at my significant other. I said, yeah, he was boxing or he was fighting daily probably, or every other day, or at least in the beginning. And I said, man, that's crazy. Tough. You got to be tough. Got to be tough in those environments. His face looks like he's been fighting, and I believe it. And he showed where he makes $30 million a year, where he acquired 2 other roofing companies just by being consistent and following systems. What happened when he came out of prison? He knocked doors. You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance, and guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who can do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done, and that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. Scroll Williams. I want you to understand, while you're daydreaming and imagining, and if you could just get your hands on some more credit, the average everyday person that has to eat, or they have to come out and get a new identity. And what I love about one of the guys on stage is he wore very beautiful suits. And everybody's like, why are you wearing these suits? And he said, I wanted to change how I saw myself. I wanted to change how people saw roofers and blue collar business owners. I want them to see me with the Porsche. I want them to see me with the nice outfit on. Because if you listen to most people, oh, blue collar guys do this and blue collar guys do that. Even on this channel in the comment section, people have said, well, girls won't date blue collar guys. Where? Where are you getting this data from? You're some of the wealthiest guys around. Because the average person doesn't fix anything. And the average person doesn't want to knock doors. And I would tell anybody, if you're coming out of prison, where's somebody that could be useful to you? Cold calling, knocking doors. Cold calling, knocking doors, construction, welding, roofing. If you know how to fix a thing, you'll never go hungry again. They never go hungry again. One of our painting couples, and I call it painting couple because the wife was helping, was a really elderly old couple. They were Latino and they were painting for me and my friend's painting company. And they took their time. They did good work. But I just thought, oh my God, this couple is in their late 70s, still having to work. What is something in your late 70s you can do? For him, the husband, he was painting. The wife, she basically was helping. She painted around the light fixtures or whatever. Small crevices and cracks. I've noticed that she would do that. And I want you to understand there's two kind of things happening. Your identity, this belief you have that your identity is this one way, that I'm a ex-drug addict or I'm a convict or whatever. You can build a new identity today if you so choose, via your clothes, via your environment, who you choose to hang out with. I heard this one guy saying he couldn't study at home because it was so loud, it was so noisy. And I said, what's stopping you from going to sit your butt at the library? Catching the bus and going to sit at the library. What's stopping you from sitting on the back porch of your house and studying? What's stopping you from going down the street to the Starbucks and sitting there for 4 hours and study? See, it's the identity that you have to be able to study from home in your room, and that's where you study. You got to let that go. You have to really embrace, do I really want this thing? Then I need to attach a new identity to it. A lot of people think if I don't have the credit cards, Erica, I'm not going to start the process. I'm not going to start the business. And I will tell you, most of these businesses that I've run across, these people, they started them out of their pocket. From the coins and dirt and lint out of their pocket. Right? Now you're going to say, Erica, I'm busy, professional. I like my career. I like my job. I want to start a new thing. But I don't want to be be careful here. There's 3 CEOs. As we're talking about it, let me stop for a second. There's 3 types of CEOs. There's the 100-day, get the ground off running, get the company started, get the paperwork straight, dot the T's, cross the I's, everything, right? And this is very intense. Then you got that first year of the startup, different type of owner. Then you got the remaining, what we call peacetime. So you got the war CEO and you got the peacetime CEO. And a lot of people think, Erica, I'm just going to buy a business so I can be a peacetime CEO. Not knowing you're going to have to go through that 100 days or that first year of war to get the company to a nice, steady flow. And everybody's not built out for it, and that's okay. But there's things I've learned about myself over these years. My identity was tied to being grind, hustle, start, flow, startup energy. And I realized, no, I'm good. I'll start a thing, but I'll make sure there's a manager there that I get out of his way, let him rock it, him or her way. Let them rock it. Let them keep up consistency. Let them keep up good, consistent, boring systems that drive me crazy as the way I'm wired. And so what happens in these moments is these criminals have decided, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be not tied to this old identity. And the same when it comes to sales. Many of them are saying, Eric, I can't start till I get the credit I want. I want you to let go of that luxury belief. That's really an excuse. That's what it is. And so what ends up happening is you want new opportunities, you will have to work with others. And so you have to change that identity of yours that I do it all by myself. I don't need anybody. And actually, all you're doing is working your way to be burned out really fast. And so you have to understand, how am I going to get money in my pocket, sales in my pocket, numbers up? And I'm going to tell you like this, credit matters till it don't. Credit matters till it don't. People at a certain income bracket, yes, does credit still matter? For sure. But it don't. It don't. When you see some of these guys and these roofing and plumbing companies, they keep going out getting new contracts. And every day there's somebody cutting them a check for starting projects. And this drives people crazy now. Let's be very honest. This drives people crazy when they're like starting on your project. They're doing another project. They're spread thin over 3 projects. And your house, instead of getting done in 1 week, gets done in 3 weeks. I know it drives people crazy, but it happens all the time. They've created their own credit line for themselves via sales. There's this thing our friend says is terms or price. Terms or price. Which one do you want? You're not going to get both. Which one do you want? And they go, what do you mean? You go, listen, you want to sell your house for $100K? In my mind, it's only worth 75. So if you want the 100K, you got to agree to my terms. And what are terms usually for him is seller financing, holding the note, et cetera, et cetera. Now that person still gets what? Their price over a period of time, right? They didn't want to let go of the price. Cool. Now you got to accept the terms. Let's say on the other hand, it's just the terms. Hey, no, I just want somebody to come in and give me cash. This is why you still have people selling their homes that are worth 100, worth 200 for $30,000 or $40,000 in quick pocket cash. They're going through whatever family emergency, whatever problem's going on. I was sitting in one of our groups and the guy said, the lady's like, I need to sell this house immediately. And he goes, what if I offer you $8,000? Because you have so much loan left on this house. And then I got to put $70,000 in repairs in this house. And so it's really, there's only like $8,000 left over I can really give you. Now you can go list it with the real estate agent. He's going to tell you the same. By all time it's all said and done, you're going to give him some fees. You're going to pay some taxes and you might walk away with $5K. Or you can sell it to these terms to me and walk away with $8K today to take care of your bills and whatever else you need. This is what happens out here. People are creating their own notes. They're creating their own terms. They're creating their own prices. They're creating their own receivable notes. They're saying bump you to the banks a little bit. And that's what you see in a lot of this stuff. This creative financing market we're in. But it's because they didn't get stuck up on it has to be done this way. It has to be done through this particular bank. It has to be done in this way so I can look professional and I can look a certain way. Because what you're telling me is you're stuck on identity. You're stuck, and this is what's happening right now. There's people who are stuck in real estate. I want to be a real estate agent. For why? It's just something they always saw. It's not because they want to really be an agent. Like I'm literally talking to people who they hate cold calling. They hate meeting people. They hate going out to houses. They hate open houses. They hate all the whole process. And I go, why are you a real estate agent? It's because everybody in their family is a real estate agent. They want the prestige and walking around and saying they're a real estate agent, but they're really just a property manager. They're really just a property manager. Their family owns a bunch of properties and they're just really a property manager. If they happen to sell a house, it's a miracle. It's a miracle and it's great. But most people are property managers or they want to dress around and put stickers on houses or signs on houses. I know this has been a long conversation on identity and credit, but I want you to understand many people think, well, they got to drop the interest rates, Erica. At some point, they got to drop them. And that's true. I truly do believe they're going to drop interest rates sometime around June. And why do I say June? I'm thinking June because June and August are really weird months for the stock market. And if you're going to have a bad real estate market and a bad stock market, I think you'll get the attention of people on dropping the rates. And also, they had to reach 4% unemployment. I think they will reach 4% unemployment either this Friday or next Friday. And I think 4% unemployment has been here, but that's another conversation. Companies are running off credit. I posted the picture. I don't know if you see the thumbnail on this video, but it's a furniture store that's very beautiful. It's over here. It opened after the pandemic, and it's a beautiful location. It's a big, spacious store. But everybody had the same complaints online under the Google reviews is they can't get any credit from this store. This store is stingy on credit. And I thought that's insane. Why are they saying this store is stingy on credit? Because I guess it was. Even subprime credit. So this store is closing. Drove by the other day. Had a store closing sign. Now, if interest rates drop in June, it may save that store. People may get real friendly and go buy that couch they've always been wanting, go buy that chair they've always wanted. They may go buy the stuff they always wanted. But because of the terms, they couldn't get credit, not the price. Because as long as people can get credit for the couch and credit for this or credit for the sofa, credit for the bed, they'll buy it. Because those are terms. It's not about the price at that point. And a lot of these companies are running off credit. That's what they're running off of. Again, I would encourage you to check your identity. Check how you look at running a business, owning a business, sales, and credit. Because right now, the two companies I'm running with, And again, you've heard of several videos. One's a service business. One is a supplement company. Supplement company required some credit. It did require some, not necessarily credit, vendor credit, one, and some cash to get the first batch up for sure. But the other company is completely a cash cow. We just got the contract. We got the supplies. We show up. We do the work. And you pay. It's as much, and lucky for us, we got this thing on reoccurring contracts. 20 of these contracts at $2,500 a month. Reoccurring is a $50K a month business. $600K a year company. So did we change our identity and how we deal with service businesses and oh, we need all this credit? We didn't need as much credit. Why? Because we have the service business that is a cash cow. There are companies that are cash cows. There are millions of them I can tell you about, mobile detailing cars and house cleaning and all these different stuff. Because a lot of them are just, you could do that service today with no skills, just the money and the hands and the cleaning supplies you can carry. And you can start a lot of those businesses today. Same thing with lawn care. A lot of those things are cash cows. You don't have a ton of overhead cost. Now, here's where the levels of it get kind of scarce is when you want to scale or you need loans. Is your paperwork in order? Is your paperwork right? That's something, a lot of people aren't willing to talk about, but that's really what happens is we have this identity. And in this identity, we build this character that either, oh, I don't do things that way. I don't go to those cities. I don't go to those nightclubs. I run business this type of way. You have to always be willing to learn and unlearn, to pivot, and to be kind of open to new conversations. And that's what identity is. Identity is, I'll look and see some of my friends' mom. She dyes her hair pink now. Her mom was always a free spirit. She just now is older and cuts her hair and dyes it pink, right? That's a part of her identity, right? She's just willing to change how the outside looks. She's willing to change and adjust how you may see her, and still enjoy her life. So I hope this wasn't too long for you guys, but essentially I want you guys to kind of let go of some of the stuff that's holding you back, and realize that there are people with less skills, less money, and more determination than you that are making it happen out here because they're not tying their identity to how other people perceive them. They're tying their identity to getting their dreams fulfilled, getting their sales done, and getting their companies off the ground. This is your girl, Erica, from the Classic Line blog. Hope this was helpful. I know it was a long one, but hope this all made sense to you. Drop your city and state in the chat, if you will, just so we can see where you guys are coming from. And if you enjoyed the commentary, drop a one in the comments. This is your girl, Erica, Classic Line blog. What's up, May 5th and 6th? Join me in Atlanta for the Digital Liberty Tour. We have a collection of good hosts and speakers coming through. I'm so excited. We're going to be teaching you how to power up from your phone, to have 24/7 income coming in. How? Affiliate marketing. We're going to teach you about a lot of content creation. Also how to create YouTube and Facebook ads and Google ads. Listen, we also are going to have credit specialists there. We're also going to have, because funding is going to be so very vital and important in 2024, we're also going to have the Acre Boys fly down from New York to teach you about the importance of buying land online, the digital space where you don't have to leave your home. Again, the power of the liberty comes from being able to do any of this stuff on your phone. Also, we'll have a service business specialist in there helping you show how they've grown their business online by using the tools that online provides. Listen, we don't want you to leave this event without being able to master Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, or what type of stream of income you'd like to desire. There's going to be workbooks included, and we're going to eat tacos on Cinco de Mayo. So be there or be square. The link's in the bio. We're going to be at a beautiful Kipton Shane hotel. Fancy. You're going to love it. This is your girl, Erica, Classic on Blog. See you guys there.